nerds, what's up? Today's video is going to be about To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, and I'm going to be comparing the movie to the book. I'm going to be talking about just the first book in spoilers, so I will warn before I get into them, but just know that this video is going to have spoilers in it at some point, and I just want to talk about some of the things that I liked and some of the things that I didn't like in this book. So let's just get right on into this. To All the Boys I Loved Before, I gave like in between a 2.5 or a 3 stars. I don't really know like which one it is, but I had some things that I really loved about the story and some things that I really didn't like. Now, talking about the movie was amazing. I've now watched it twice, although the second time I was with Chelsea and we did not watch it really. We just had it on and then we're talking through the whole thing, so that's what happens when friends drink together, is they just never shut up. So yeah, and I plan on watching it over and over again because it's just so cute. I don't have much of any issues with the movie other than I think the casting of Margot was really weird because she does not feel 18 or 19, however old she's supposed to be, 1 year out of high school. She's like 25, and we were making fun of it and saying like, oh look, Aunt Margot's over, because she's definitely not only a year older. I also didn't like some of the things that they did with Josh's character in the movie, but we'll get into all of that later when we're actually in spoilers. So with that being said, basically like I liked how familial relationships in both book and movie were most of the time. In the book, there was one point in the story where I thought that the sister and the dad did not react well at all, but in general I loved that there was a lot of family in the story. I loved that. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. From what I hear, the representation is great. It's definitely like a contemporary romance high school story. I did think that Laura Jean read really young. I didn't like that she called Josh Joshy and her dad Daddy, but like that's just a personal preference for me because I was never like that. But that doesn't mean that there aren't people out like that. So in general, I loved the fake dating trope and stuff like that. So lots of things to love. There was one big thing that happens in the story that I didn't like, which is what this video is going to be all about. So let's get right on into the spoilers. If you haven't read the book and you don't want to be spoiled, leave now, go read it, go listen to it, go watch the movie. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be talking about both simultaneously, so if you've only read it and haven't watched it, or vice versa, and you don't want to be spoiled for changes and stuff, also please leave, because I don't want to be blamed for the fact that you missed out on being surprised about changes either. And yeah, so gonna start talking about things now. Just because I had these issues and I'm going to be talking a lot about my like critiques and my criticisms of this book, that doesn't mean I didn't like it, and this doesn't mean that no one should read it. Like, I really did enjoy my time reading this book and watching the movie. It just means that there were things that I think that could have been done better, and if they had been done better, I would have loved this book or movie. So let's just get on into that without any further ado now. Main issue with this book generally is that sex is the reason that everything is bad. The idea that Laura Jean had sex is why everyone is freaking out. I just think that this is so done and overdone, and we need to stop slut-shaming our characters, like our high school characters. Stop it! Like, just stop it. That is not a reason anymore for people to be shaming people. The fact that Genevieve is the one doing it could have been okay because I know it's kind of realistic, but also like Genevieve is believed to have been a person who has had sex with the same dude. So the fact that she's shaming Laura Jean for having sex, it just blew my mind, because the hypocrisy of that in general was just ridiculous. And then on top of that, it's like, and also sex is not a bad word and not a bad thing, so stop it. Like, have the conversation about safe sex. In the movie, I loved how the dad and how the sister responded to this video that comes out. In the book, Margot responds really horribly to her little sister potentially having sex in a hot tub, which isn't true anyway, but Margot believes it, one, and doesn't ask her sister what's true, and two, freaks out on her and like basically calls her a slut. And then her dad, who's a gynecologist, OBGYN doctor, responds with basically, you shouldn't be having sex. And although that is also a very typical response, it was disappointing that this dad, who's an amazing father to 3 girls, he's a single dad, and he's an OBGYN, so he has knowledge of lots of educational sources about like safe sex and stuff, that he didn't respond with those things rather than being like, my daughter's having sex. In the movie, it was so, like, that whole thing was fixed. That's why I love the movie. The movie did it so great. But in the book, I was so angry at Margot because I'm a big sister. I'm the oldest of one girl, and then, like, I mean, I have one sister who's younger than me, and I have 3 brothers who are younger than me, so I'm the oldest. If you have a parent who you don't feel comfortable going to because they might respond like Book Dad did, then you as an older sister or an older sibling should be able to be coming to by your younger siblings without judgment. I think that that's a really important relationship to have with your siblings. And so the fact that she responds immediately so judgmental blew my mind. Blew it. It was just everything that possibly could have happened in this whole trail of events during the book pissed me off. Like, Peter Kravinsky also doesn't respond very well. He doesn't really like tell his friends to knock it off or anything. He didn't tell them, as far as we know, but he didn't necessarily, and I think Lara Jean does point this out. I can't remember if she points it out in the book though, but she for sure points it out in the movie. It was like, it's a catch-22 for us because you get clapped on the back and I get slut-shamed. And that whole thing, although it annoyed me, it also was very realistic. So I didn't have a problem with that. Although what I did have a problem with was the fact that all this stuff happens. Peter Kravinsky doesn't like say anything to his friends. He doesn't back Lara Jean up, anything like that. He does try to talk to her multiple times and she ignores him. And then all of a sudden she's writing a love letter to him, and I was like, wait, there was no resolution to this big ass fight in your relationship for you to then be back in love with him. Like, no, resolve the issues, fix them, and then maybe do that. Like, you can't have a relationship without communication, and you sure as hell can't have a relationship when there's big issues in it and then you don't actually fix any of it. Like, what is going on? All of those things all happen in the last like 50 pages of the book too. So before that I was like having a great time. Kitty gets her dog. Kitty is my favorite character. Her and Peter, her like friendship with Peter as he's like fake dating Lara Jean was so cute. I loved their banter, and Kitty in the movie is amazing. And like I loved that Lara Jean made Kitty kind of like grow up a little bit. She like makes her like do a little bit of chores and stuff, whereas Margot was kind of doing everything for her, and she's bringing her sister up. It was awesome. But then all of this shit happens and I was like, what? How are we here? Again, some of it was realistic, but I think the problem that I had was that there's no one in the book that like responded well for Lara Jean. Like, she's by herself essentially. The only one who does anything good is Chris, which amazed me because Chris is a piece of shit the entire book, and then she does this one good thing and I'm like, well, what? She's way better in the movie too. I did not like her character at all in the book. I felt like she was using Lara Jean just whenever it was convenient for her. She was definitely like never there for Lara Jean, but whenever she wanted to be around her, then she would show up, except for this one scene where they're on the bus. The thing happens with Genevieve in the breakfast restaurant bathroom, and then Peter comes in and is trying to sit next to Lara Jean and Chris doesn't let him. She like looks to Lara Jean and Lara Jean says no, and then Chris says like, sorry, you can't have your seat. And so like that one moment is like the saving grace of Chris in the book, but then everything else about Chris was lame. So it's just like weird that that one character is the one that actually stands up for her when throughout the book she's not really there for her at all, whereas like her dad and her sisters are supposed to be these like great people in her life, leans on them for everything, which is a great family showing in a book. I loved that, but then they all respond like crap. Well, and then like Kitty doesn't. Kitty's a kid, it's fine. Like, I don't remember her even responding to any of that, and she's the one who sent out the letters, but that's because she's a little kid. Why did it end on a love letter to Peter? There's no resolution. I didn't get it. I didn't get it at all. I definitely want to read the next book because, like I said, I did really love a lot of the characters, and it's very cute, and I want to know, like, where's the relationship gonna go with her and Peter, because nothing was fixed. That's generally my feelings about To All the Boys I've Loved Before. The movie did it better, in my opinion. And I read the book first, so like it's not like I was attached to the movie and then read it and then had opinions. Obviously, everyone is entitled to their own opinions. This is not me trying to say don't read it or don't enjoy it or don't love this book. If you love this book, you love this book. That's awesome. I'm so glad that it was written for somebody who does love it. What do you guys think about that situation in To All the Boys I Loved Before? Did you even notice any of it? Like, did it bother you at all, or did it not faze you and you just went with it? Because I mean, it's supposed to be bad. Like, it's supposed to hit Lara Jean and all the feelings, and it did, and so maybe I'm like not giving it enough of a pass because obviously it's written as a bad thing, but I just didn't like it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think that's gonna be it for now. Leave some comments. Try to like alert for spoilers just in case there's people down there who haven't read it yet, but I would love to talk about the spoilery stuff with you guys down in the comments, so leave a comment down below on what your thoughts are on all of this. And yeah, I definitely will be continuing with the series eventually, but just I had feelings and thoughts. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I make videos every Wednesday and Saturday, so if you want to be notified every time I post a video, you can go ahead and click that little notification bell, and I'll see you guys very soon with a new one. Bye! I wish I could